He's roamed the galaxy, crossed swords with a mountain, and guided the savior of humanity through the apocalypse. And somehow Pedro Pascal's real-life story is more fascinating than any of his fictional characters. Shortly after Pedro Pascal was born, he and his family were forced to flee from their homeland in South America. At the time, Pascal's parents worked for an opposition movement against Chilean military dictator Augusto Pinochet. Pascal later told Time, "My mother's cousin was very primary in the opposition against the military regime, but there was a huge degree of separation between him and my parents. Still, helping some people hide got them into hot water. Eventually, they got to the Venezuelan embassy and claimed asylum. From there, the family was sent to Denmark and then the US for political asylum." Pascal explained, "My sister and I were born in Chile and raised in the States, and my little brothers were born in the States and raised in Chile after my parents moved back in 1995. Acting has been in Pedro Pascal's blood for practically his entire life, and films had a particularly significant influence on him as a child. In his interview with Time, Pascal shared that, as a kid, his father would take him and the rest of the family to the movies.
How old were you?
I was pretty young.
Like
I was 6 years old and I saw First Blood.
Really?
Yeah.
So when his acting career really took off, it became a very surreal experience to share with his father. He revealed, "My dad is so impressed. He's so amazed and so happy." As Pascal recounted in an interview with BBC Radio 2, one of his favorite childhood movies was the first Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. He loved the movie so much that he broke his arm on 2 separate occasions while imitating the movie's hero. It wasn't until Pascal attended high school at the Orange County School of the Arts in California that he became more serious about acting, however. As he later told the New York Times, "I was obsessed with drama and classic movies and reading plays." While studying acting at New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, Pedro Pascal studied abroad in Madrid as part of an anthropology course. During his time there, he landed a gig as a go-go dancer after a chance meeting with a nightclub owner. In an interview with the Olive Press, Pascal remembered, "He gave me work at his club, at his parties. It was in the House of Devotion, which was held every Thursday in Morocco nightclub." But don't get the wrong idea. Pascal made sure to clarify that it was not a strip club. "I did not take my clothes off, but I danced and wore silver hair." More recently, Pascal shared his old go-go moves with friend Jeremy O'Harris, who recorded and uploaded a video of the actor dancing to his TikTok story. In the early years of his career, Pedro Pascal managed to book several small roles in TV shows, from NYPD Blue to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sadly, just as his career was getting started, his mother died unexpectedly. Pascal later told People magazine, "She was always incredibly supportive, never a stage mom. I always felt like she knew something that I didn't. None of my success would be real if it weren't for her." Shortly after her death, Pascal changed his last name from Balmaceda to Pascal to honor his mother. He also explained that the name change helped eliminate any difficulty Americans had in pronouncing Balmaceda.
You know what my full name is?
Well, I assume Pedro Pascal, but is there more?
It's a little longer than that.
Go ahead.
Jose Pedro Balmaceda Pascal.
Around the same time, Pascal tried changing his first name to Alexander in the hopes of having a better success rate in booking roles, but it didn't make all that much of a difference. He told Variety, "I was willing to do absolutely anything to work more. And that meant if people felt confused by who they were looking at in the casting room because his first name was Pedro, then I'll change that." It didn't work. Although most of us know Pedro Pascal best as an on-screen actor, he took on quite a few roles in off-Broadway productions. In 2006, Pascal was cast in a production of Beauty of the Father with his friend and fellow actor Oscar Isaac. Although the two didn't make much money at the time, they both had big dreams of becoming big-time actors, and it's safe to say their dreams came true. These days, Isaac is known for his roles in Dune, Ex Machina, and the Star Wars sequel trilogy. In a full-circle turn of events, Pascal also joined the Star Wars universe as the Mandalorian in the Disney Plus series of the same name, a role that Isaac encouraged him to take. In 2014, Pedro Pascal joined the Game of Thrones franchise as Oberyn Martell of House of Martell, the younger brother of Doran and Elia. Pascal's close friend and fellow actor Sarah Paulson had a hand in getting him the role by passing along his audition tape to her friend Amanda Peet, the wife of Game of Thrones co-showrunner David Benioff. Benioff recalled Pascal's memorable audition video, which was shot vertically in iPhone selfie mode. However, his talent was still so remarkable that it landed him the role. Benioff described his performance to Variety as intense and believable and just right. After the season wrapped, Benioff knew Pascal was going places. He said, "Once we saw the entire season, there was no doubt Pedro was going to be a star. I thought he deserved more recognition, frankly. But we were thrilled that we gave Pedro a job that helped his ascent, because he's an absolute gem of an actor and a man." Pedro Pascal's mustache has become part of his signature look. Without it, he just wouldn't be the same. In an interview with Wired, Pascal revealed that one of the autofilled Google results that follows Pedro Pascal is Pedro Pascal mustache. Pascal explained that he made it a part of his look after it received so much high praise from people, including his old boss. Right before shooting started for the show Narcos, he was starring in a play, and his boss outright told him to keep the stache after he saw him. The rest is history. He continues.
And now people are like, don't ever get rid of your mustache. You look like my grandmother without it.
Although his mustache has become a staple, Pascal shared with Vanity Fair that he actually can't grow a full mustache, saying, "I get away with what I can." In 2017, Pedro Pascal became the new face of the fragrance Solo by the Spanish brand Loewe. As part of the deal, he starred in a series of commercials for the brand. The fragrance comes in an amber shade housed in a sleek, translucent glass bottle. Loewe describes its notes as guava with cumin, musk, and Italian mandarin. On the perfumery site Fragrantica, one customer described the cologne as fruity, slightly citrusy, with spices as nutmeg and thyme, and an aromatic lavender with a warm base of amber. We'll go ahead and assume that's what Pascal smells like too.
Nobody really knows me, but they think they do.
In 2019, Pedro Pascal took on a huge role as the title character in Disney's landmark Star Wars spin-off, The Mandalorian. In the show, Pascal's character is tasked with safely transporting the child, later revealed to be named Grogu, to his new owner. While things don't get off to the best start, the Mandalorian soon warms up to his new friend. Although he may not show much emotion as Mando, Pascal clearly has a soft spot for Grogu. In a red carpet interview with Screen Rant, Pascal was asked if he had any guesses as to what Grogu's first words might be, and he pretty much lit up and suggested, "Daddy." Before Pascal knew anything about The Mandalorian, executive producer Jon Favreau knew he wanted to cast him. He told Variety, "He feels very much like a classic movie star in his charm and his delivery, and he's somebody who takes his craft very seriously." To win him over, Favreau gave Pascal an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the show's storyboards, and apparently it worked. Shortly after its debut on Disney+, The Mandalorian became the most-watched U.S. television series across all streaming platforms. During its first week, it racked in an impressive 100 million views. More recently, Pedro Pascal starred in the HBO hit series The Last of Us, which is based on the classic 2013 video game. Pascal plays a darker but familiar fatherly role compared to his part in The Mandalorian. In the series, his character Joel takes in a teenager named Ellie, played by Game of Thrones actor Bella Ramsey, so he can smuggle her to safety during a post-apocalyptic pandemic. The show instantly became a hit, ranking as HBO's second-largest debut for an original series since 2010. Episode 1 alone racked in 10 million views within just 2 days of its release. It also broke the record for the highest-rated premiere of any video game adaptation. Season 2 of The Last of Us was confirmed in January 2023. In February 2023, Pedro Pascal hosted Saturday Night Live for the very first time. Coldplay performed as the musical guest and even dedicated their song Fix You to the actor and his late mother, Verónica. Pascal's monologue began with a few jokes and ended with a very heartfelt message, thanking his parents for their sacrifices after being forced to flee their country.
They were so brave, and without them, I wouldn't be here in this wonderful country, and I certainly wouldn't be standing here with you all tonight.
The night sketches really gave audiences a glimpse into Pascal's quirky, fun sense of humor, a side viewers don't see often on screen. A few memorable skits included a gritty Last of Us-style Mario Kart adaptation, Pascal poking fun at being TikTok's so-called daddy, and a surprise appearance by Sarah Paulson to round things off.